Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Alex English Studio, the place where learning English becomes practical, clear, and enjoyable. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Maya. If you're learning English and sometimes feel like you started too late, today's episode is especially for you.
That's right. One of the most common questions we hear from learners is, can I really become fluent in English as an adult? Many people believe that language learning is only easy when you're a child. Once people reach their 20s, 30s, or even later, they start to feel like it might be too difficult.
Yes, I've heard that a lot. Some people even say children's brains are better at learning languages.
That idea is very common, but it's not the whole truth. In reality, adults have many powerful advantages when learning a language. In fact, many successful English learners start as adults. Today's episode will explore whether adults can really become fluent in English, the advantages adults have when learning, the biggest challenges adult learners face, and the strategies that actually work for adult learners.
So, if you're learning English while managing work, family, or other responsibilities, this episode is definitely for you.
Before we begin, take a quick moment to support the channel. Like this video if you are learning English as an adult, subscribe to Alex English Studio for weekly English learning episodes, and share this video with someone who wants to improve their English.
And turn on the notification bell so you never miss our new lessons.
All right, Maya, let's start with the most important question. Is learning English really harder for adults? Many people believe children are naturally better language learners. Children often seem to pick up languages quickly when they grow up in a bilingual environment. But that doesn't mean adults cannot learn effectively. In fact, adults often learn in a different but powerful way.
What makes adult learning different?
Adults have developed analytical thinking skills. For example, adults can understand grammar explanations, notice patterns in language, organize their learning strategies, and set clear goals for improvement. Children mostly learn languages through exposure, meaning they hear the language repeatedly and gradually absorb it. Adults, on the other hand, can combine exposure with understanding.
So adults can actually use logic to learn the language.
Exactly. For example, if you learn the rule for past tense verbs, you can apply that rule to many different sentences. This type of understanding helps adults progress faster in some situations.
That makes sense. Adults also know why they want to learn English.
Yes, and that motivation is extremely powerful. Adults often learn English for reasons such as career opportunities, international communication, travel, education, or personal growth. When learning has a clear purpose, people often stay more committed. Even though adults have many advantages, there are also some real challenges. One of the biggest challenges is time. Many adult learners have busy schedules. They may have full-time jobs, family responsibilities, household tasks, and other commitments.
Yes, sometimes people want to learn English but simply feel they don't have enough time.
Exactly. But here's something important to remember. You don't always need large blocks of time to improve your English. Small daily learning habits can make a big difference. Another challenge adults face is fear of making mistakes. Adults often feel embarrassed when they speak incorrectly. Children usually don't worry about mistakes. They simply try again.
That's true. Children are often more confident because they don't worry about being judged.
Exactly. Adults sometimes think, what if people laugh? What if my grammar is wrong? What if my pronunciation sounds strange? These thoughts can create hesitation. But the truth is, mistakes are a natural part of language learning. Every fluent English speaker made thousands of mistakes while learning. One of the most effective strategies for adult learners is consistent daily practice. Many learners think they must study for several hours to see progress, but that is not always necessary. Even 20 to 30 minutes per day can produce strong improvement.
That sounds much more manageable for busy learners.
Exactly. Consistency is more important than long study sessions. Let's imagine two learners. One studies English for 3 hours once a week. The other studies 20 minutes every day. The second learner will usually improve faster because their brain interacts with English more frequently.
So the key idea is keeping English active in your mind regularly.
Yes, some simple daily practice ideas include listening to an English podcast while commuting, watching a short English video during lunch, practicing speaking for 5 minutes before bed, or reading a short English article. These small activities help your brain stay connected to the language. Another important strategy is focusing on communication instead of perfection. Many learners spend too much time studying grammar rules. Grammar is useful, but language is primarily a tool for communication.
So learners should prioritize speaking and expressing ideas.
Exactly. Think about how we use language in real life. We use it to share ideas, ask questions, express opinions, tell stories, and build relationships. If learners focus only on grammar exercises, they might understand the rules but still feel uncomfortable speaking.
That happens to many learners. They understand English but hesitate to speak.
Yes, and the solution is practice. Try simple speaking exercises like describe your day, talk about your favorite movie, explain something you learned today. Speaking regularly helps build natural fluency. Another powerful strategy is immersion. Immersion means surrounding yourself with English as much as possible.
But what if someone doesn't live in an English-speaking country?
That's a great question. The good news is that today's technology makes immersion easier than ever. You can create an English environment by watching English YouTube channels, listening to English podcasts, reading English blogs or news articles, following English social media pages. When English becomes part of your daily environment, your brain begins recognizing patterns naturally.
So learning becomes less like studying and more like experiencing the language.
Exactly. Adults learn more effectively when they have clear goals. For example, someone might want to improve English for job interviews, speak confidently with international clients, travel comfortably abroad, or watch movies without subtitles. When learners know their purpose, it becomes easier to stay motivated.
So goals act like a roadmap for the learning journey.
Exactly. Clear goals also help learners choose the right learning activities. For example, if your goal is conversation, you should prioritize speaking practice. If your goal is reading professional materials, then reading practice becomes important. Learning English is a long-term journey. Progress doesn't happen overnight. Some days you may feel confident, while other days you may feel stuck.
Yes, motivation can change from day to day.
Exactly. That's why it's important to celebrate small achievements. For example, learning 5 new words, understanding a podcast episode, having a short conversation in English. These small successes gradually build confidence. Let's summarize today's episode. Learning English as an adult is absolutely possible. Adults actually have powerful advantages, such as strong learning strategies, clear goals and motivation, discipline and consistency. To succeed, focus on daily practice, communication, immersion, clear goals, and long-term patience.
This episode shows that learning English as an adult is not only possible, it can actually be very successful.
Exactly. Your age is never a barrier to learning a language. What matters most is consistent effort and the right approach. If you enjoyed this episode, like this video, subscribe to Alex English Studio, and share it with someone learning English.
And tell us in the comments, when did you start learning English?
In our next episode, we'll talk about how to speak English naturally in daily life. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, fluency grows one small step at a time.